we often do and almost always do with our mailbag, super thanks we want to give some love to. First up, Skeptical Fan. We were talking about, Russell Wilson, the Giants. He says, I am more concerned with Jameis Winston than Russell Wilson. Winston might beat you if he plays against you. He also might single-handedly lose the game for his own team. That's what makes the Winston experience fun and frustrating. Now, a lot of these came in via super things. It's just like a super chat on the live show, but it's on demand. So you don't have to be watching live. We can still get to your questions and give you some love. Edit your message, send in whatever, and we'll give you a shout-out on the show and or answer your question. Mighty Ant. We trade back for Golden if T-Mac is gone and we get another second round pick. Would you take a running back and another receiver in Elic Ayomanor is who he's referring to out of Stanford. He'd be a luxury pick after a back. I'd rather take Egbuka because he has 1,000 yards seasons. I don't think Egbuka gets to you in the second. I think he's just going to be a second round grade that goes in round one type of player. With all my needs I have, it is a luxury pick. I like Ayomanor a lot. I also think that if you have gold, you're probably fine. You get your back. I'd probably go corner, defensive line, O-line, impact linebacker. Like I think I'd rather go with a non-luxury pick just because I don't really have the luxury to make those types of moves. Ecuador man AOG, hey Tom, why the hell do the Cowboys have meetings? Other teams sign their big players on time. I think it might get signed sometime in August and the Cowboys bend over and take it. Thanks, Tom. That's what normally happens, isn't it? The Cowboys like these meeting things, and they do them a lot because they think they can save some money. They think that if they can kind of circumvent the agent whose job it is to negotiate players' contracts, like I'll tell the Dez Bryant story here in a second that Dez once told, but they can save money. When that can work. When it works, you get like the Jalen Smith deal. Gets done early. Lyle Collins gets done early and saves some money. When it doesn't work and you don't get it done early because the player took a discount, it drags on. Drags on with Tank Lawrence. Drags on with Dak Prescott. Made Zach Martin hold out. Almost held out again the first time around. It was right before training camp. The Tyron Smith deal, I think they're still chasing the dragon of that NFLPA sued them almost, basically, of the Tyron Smith contract all those years ago. They're kind of chasing that incredibly team-friendly deal. And when the player does not take instantly team-friendly, it drags out. And what you get is upset agent. And that's not an issue for other teams. They deal with it because the agents have plenty of power and control. And as a player, you hire the good agents to get you more money. That's why Micah hired David Mulgeta. That's why Dak hired Todd France. It's why Dez Bryant told the story of how one time he was sitting with Jerry Jones and Jerry tried to start talking contract and Dez said, no, I'm not talking about this with you. You're going to kill me. I'm not doing this. That Dez was up the deadline day for the franchise. That's just how they operate. It's not right, but that's how they go about doing it. So in general, what is your confidence level in the Cowboys when it comes to contract talks? Scale it from 1 to 10 at the pinned comment of today's show. B-Phil's 10. Once Steven takes over full-time, is him taking the GM role like Jerry? I think he hires an actual GM. I think this team will stay in the Jones family forever. If so, I think Jerry and Steve teaching their kids to think and work the way they both do. So, first part, Steven, I think, will have the GM title. Maybe he just takes owner. I know there was the report that it's in Will McClay's contract. I haven't seen the contract. I can't specify on that. I would like it if Will McClay was the actual GM. I just think I think you need to have somebody that has a little bit of urgency. Right now, everyone in this front office doesn't have any urgency. McClay doesn't have that because it's not his job. Howie Roseman got good because there was urgency. A little bit of desperation can be a good thing. And the Cowboys, what they should do is the owner can't get fired. The GM can't get fired because it's the owner. They should actually be extremely aggressive because the downside is no one loses their jobs. They don't have that threat. So I wish they would operate differently and not so conservatively. But it will say in the family, Jerry Jones was not acting on Landman. This is a family business through and through. B. Phils, hey Tom, if the Cowboys do draft a safety, who would you like them to take and in what round? Love the show, and I see someone call it the way it is because we all know it's negative emojis is how I'll sum that up there. I've got a lot of safeties I like. Starks and Ayomanor would have to be like round 1 picks. I really like Xavier Watts. I think he's awesome. You'd have to hope he's there in the second. I don't think he gets to you in the second, but he'd be really cool. I think Kevin Winston, second, third round shooter grade for Penn State. I got Andrew Makuba as a late second. I actually like his game a lot. Don't think he gets to you in the third, though. Then there are some intriguing day 3 guys. Billy Bowman from Oklahoma might go third round, but he's not a good tackler, but he's a really impactful ball player. I think Lathan Ransom, OSU, is a bit underrated. Jonas Sanker from Virginia is intriguing. With the Cowboys' needs, probably have to wait till the 5th round, and we'll see if one's there for you. Johnny No Pulse. Based on the fatties only rule, would spend a day 3 pick on Desmond Watson, or make sure you got him as UDFA. People have been making a running back get scared, run the other way, then throwing another sold me and need to take a swing. And then King Solomon, a.k.a. Sergeant Slata, which I love, says draft 6'6", 446, Florida defensive tackle Desmond Watson, the last 7th round pick, to undermine and control the heck out of Mozzie's job security. So first off, I don't think it's undermining or controlling anything. You need another nose guard. You don't have anybody right now. 7th round, brought back Justin Rogers. Okay, didn't play at all last year. Can't trust him. Need more. Desmond Watson is the epitome of fatties only. This is not lying on the weight. He's 446. It's also, he's too big. He doesn't move very well. And people are like, it's easier tush push stopper. Tush push, stopping it is not about size or mass. It is about leverage. And that's not something Watson's great at. But 7th round, hell yeah, let's do it. Bring in the giant human being. Worst case, you burn to late 7th. Who cares? So any round, name a player who you want to draft. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Nicholas Lanham, do you have a favorite under-the-radar draft pick? Let me type in my list of sleepers here. So I'll go kind of by position. Running back, I have been a fan of Bashal Tutin for a while out of Virginia Tech. I like his game. I think Ty Felton and Kyle Williams, maybe not so much anymore with Chris Sims ranking. I think are both sleepers at receiver. Chris, I think there's an actual Bama sleeper in Quay Robinson. He just hasn't played, but day 3 sleeper. Braden Swinson from LSU should have more love than what he does. Let's see what else I got here. Teddy Buchanan from Cal, I think is kind of a sleeper. And people don't discuss Demetrius Knight out of South Carolina a lot, but I think he's an older sleeper. And there'll be more as we move along. Those are some of the earlier names. And I also think 2 more Virginia Tech guys. Aeneas Peebles, the defensive tackle, not a great fit. And then Antoine Powell-Ryland had great production. I think he is very much a sleeper. That might actually be my favorite answer. You can go back to I think it was our first mock draft I had him to the Cowboys on day 3. Today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. It is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. You can run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Springtime is here. The baseball season is officially underway. Don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the diamond in your Prize Picks lineups. Strikeouts, RBIs, first inning runs. Take your pick of more or less for that shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash today. Available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and Georgia. Not just baseball. They've got football, Prize Picks slates, basketball, of course, as well. Go download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after that first $5 lineup. Lucid Shark 32. Hope we draft a DT in round 3 or 2, a running back in round 2 or 3, and a safety in round 5 to develop. In an ideal world, that safety can also play some nickel corner for me. That I think would be kind of nice. But I think if the value's right, you're filling needs there for sure. JetWolf 90. I'd love to trade for receiver Michael Pittman. I doubt any trades have entertained it. I love the next to CD. 3rd and a 5th/6th pick swap. I think they want more than that. They paid him. They value him. they don't have a proven outside number one right now. Like, Alec Pierce and A.D. Mitchell are not there yet. Alec Pierce, though, could also be a pretty good trade candidate, maybe more gettable if they trust A.D. Mitchell to take a step forward. Now, if you enjoy our Cowboys mailbags, hit that sub button, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. Lucid chart again. What do you think the biggest need for the Cowboys is? I think you can kind of tier them. Like, I think you're like glaring holes right now are wide receiver, cornerback, and I think still back as well, given the lack of production of Devontae Williams and Miles Sanders. Then it's like, I would like more help here. Defensive line, like backup options there at edge and DT, maybe a little bit less so edge now. Offensive guard. And then it's like, other depth, linebacker, safety, outside non-right guard offensive line options too. And, of course, backup QB too. VYL Sosif, I'm Jerry Jones. I trade 2 2s for Christian McCaffrey, draft T-Mac, and Siobhan Ravel. Timing makes sense. I don't think the Christian McCaffrey trade is very, very realistic. Really at all. I don't think it's very realistic. A lot of T-Mac interest in every single live show we've done for like a month straight now. So would you draft Tetairoa McMillan? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comment section of today's show. Busch Gardens fan, who do we trade for? Trade up or trade down? Video on that coming. When we do the trade ideas video, I'll mention like potential targets in all of those. Heidi Palms. Is that that's sus. We want Savion. Okay. I am very curious where he goes into who. There are a lot of things. This is Savion Williams, the TCU wide receiver. There's a lot of things to like. He's almost 6'4". He's 222 with long arms. He can run and catch. That's kind of unique. 4'4", 840 at 6'4", 222 is really interesting. They gave him wildcat looks, and it worked. He is great in contested catches. He makes some guys miss after the catch. He's also a body catcher. The route tree isn't there. They're very different styles of players, and he's almost like a more athletic Treylon Burks, which was one of the big issues for Treylon Burks. Like the hands, the route tree, he caught 60 passes. 21 of them were behind the line of scrimmage. That's not real production. That's not translatable production. But, early day 3, I got a 4th rounder on him. Like, as a developmental receiver with real obvious gadget impact ability. And hopefully he can be a return man, which he hasn't done, but I think he can do it. Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued. I do think Jack Bech is a better receiver, though, of the two TCU kids.